Hey, what's up, guys? So, welcome back. I know it's been a while, so I'm gonna jump right into it. The J Swap has been having cooling issues. Temps getting to around 217, 221 the max. We couldn't figure it out. We added another fan onto the intercooler to pull air onto the radiator. That wasn't helping. Helped out a little bit, just didn't do what we wanted it to do. We eliminated the heater core, we eliminated the thermostat, and it still wasn't doing what we needed to do. So, long story short, come to find out the radiator is too thick and it's too close. I don't really think it's too thick. I think it's just too close to the headers. So I believe all the heat that's coming off of the headers is boiling the side of that radiator. So it doesn't allow it to cool. So with that being said, I reached out to my boy Albert Marty. He reached out to a buddy of his with a car. He calls his car Mamba. I believe he's out of Worcester. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he told me that he had the same issues and he had to run the VW Rabbit Sakaro radiator, which it's a great radiator, especially if you're gonna do a DIY tuck, radiator tuck. So it's thin enough. And so I'm going from a 3.5 inch in thickness radiator to an 1.5 inch. So only bad part about that radiator is it doesn't come with a filler neck. So we made a filler neck. The reason why I chose a bung on this side is because I already had bungs welded onto my my coolant neck. So I went and bought a -16 female to female adapter that comes in. One comes in tomorrow, the other one comes in on Monday. So I did the same thing for the other side of the coolant neck. Same thing. So this one won't be as long. I just left it long so I can cut it to size and see exactly what I need. Same thing with this. You see that? Nice. This is a Moroso, and it carries a regular standard GM 15, 16 pound radiator cover. Radiator cap. So, yeah. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be running the Sakaro radiator. We are going to put it into the radiator support away from the headers. And we're going to make a shroud for it. They sell one, but I believe I think it's just too overpriced. So we're going to do that. Now, since we're eliminating the radiator in the actual engine bay, that gives me room to put this bad boy. The Mishimoto 1400 CFM radiator fan. Now, that fan is a monster. But just for safekeeping, I had an 1150, but it burned out on me. Some way it just died. So Mishimoto, well, let me not say Mishimoto. The brand is Mishimoto, but my buddies over at Carbon Kings, they actually ordered another one, swapped it out for me, and they're gonna handle the that issue with Mishimoto, because there's no reason why it should have burned out. Whether you soaked it in radiator fluid or not, those motors are sealed and no water should be able to get in, and they shouldn't be able to burn out. So yeah, so I got another one right here. So both of these fans will be mounted on the inside of the radiator support with the shroud. And yeah, today the rest of the stuff for the harness comes in. So I'm going to run a double relay custom harness that it's going to have two 30A, well, 240/30A relays. It's going to have two inline 15A relays. No, fuses. And that's it. Just going to run a bunch of 10 gauge and 18 gauge wire. So, with that being said, that should be done today. Sometime today. I'm just waiting for the stuff to get here from Amazon. And then we can get cracking on that. But as for everything else is pretty much good. We advanced the timing. We added 16 degrees to the timing. She idles really nice. Once she gets up to temp, she idles really nice. Now, since we eliminated the radiator from inside of the engine bay, it leaves me some space. So originally what I wanted to do for the traction bar mount, I wanted to use or utilize the factory mounting point from the motor. So I wasn't able to do that originally, but now since that thick ass radiator is gone, I have plenty of room. So I'll show you what I mean. So now since there's no big radiator here, now I can use the factory mount. And what I did, I used one of these. And what the traction bar will be right about here. And then I'll make a plate, good thickness of a plate. And I'll put 2 bolts through it and a locking nut, you know what I mean? So that will be all set. And then this needs to be tightened down, but that's just to get a little gist of it, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it's gonna look like. And yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be my traction bar mount. And then the only other mount that I need to make is I'm gonna make a mount from here. Plate, it's gonna go down and it's gonna bolt up to these 2 lower transmission mount bolts, because I really like my transmission where it is and I don't want it to go anywhere. Simple as that. So but other than that, the car is pretty much finished up. Still waiting on a headliner. I don't know what the hell is happening. I put the interior, for the most part, it's all together and it's ready to go. So with that being said, there's just very few things that I really have left to do. So hopefully this fixes the cooling issue. Hopefully that radiator fixes the cooling issue. And then we can start driving her. I actually drove her the other day up the street before she started overheating. So the reason why we think it's the radiator, it's because we know it's not the water pump. Because as soon as I start driving, the temperature goes down. So we know it's not the water pump. We know nothing's clogged. I checked all of the gaskets inside of the water neck. Nothing's being blocked or anything like that. So that's the only thing really that it really could be. So especially since 2 of my other buddies actually had the same issue and they had to switch out their radiators, leads me to believe that it's my radiator. So we're gonna hope and pray that this fixes the issue. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna run these direct. So as soon as as soon as they turn on, as soon as the car gets powered, they'll turn on. Just to keep it cool. My buddy said he runs his direct, and his car doesn't see anything over 195, which is perfect. Actually, it's actually perfect temp for any motor, really. So you don't want to do anything past 195. So yeah. So let me see. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, update on my wife's car. That is due to be sprayed, I believe, this weekend. And we should have it in our possession by the end of the month. So I have less than a month to finish this project, because as soon as Rarity comes home, it's gonna be time to get cracking on that. And we basically have everything to get it running. I will not be installing the coilovers this season onto it, so you guys won't see that portion. I'll be installing them over the winter, maybe early spring next year. Just because I need my wife really to get used to driving the car, and she's quite new to driving a 5-speed, so I just want her to have enough time to be able to get used to driving it on stock suspension, and then she'll blow the shit out of those, and then she'll get used to it, and then I'll put the new coilovers on so she doesn't have any issues. She doesn't blow them to fucking hell. So, yeah. So, yeah. Pretty much. Everything's been good, man. It's just school, kids, life. This headache right here. This headache. Just to let you know, anybody that goes J, expect issues. Just expect them to run into problems when you're putting this stuff together. It's not your average B series. It's not your average K series. This is a whole new world that people are just starting to get into. Also talking about that, once I fab up the traction bar mount, I will be patenting it and putting it up for sale. So those will be for sale. Another thing that's going to end up being for sale is my turbo manifold. I'm going to start fabbing them, so I'm just going to start selling those. Another thing, catch can. My buddy Yampy. My buddy Yampy is actually a fabricator, and he is fabbing me up a custom catch can slash coolant reservoir, and I'll show you right where it's gonna go. So it's gonna go in this area. It's gonna be 10 inches by 6.5, and the height is gonna be 9 inches or 9.5, whatever he chooses. So yeah, it's gonna go there. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice and polished up. We chose to go with the KLM breather ports. We're gonna do 3 on top. We have dash 10 bungs for that. For the catch can side, we have 1 lower port. So this is for the coolant. So I'll hook this one up to the coolant underneath, and I already have one here, and I'll run a dash 3 all the way back and call that a day. I'll probably run this one. Yep, I'll probably run 2 90s. 90 there, the 90 underneath. Should be. So yeah, we're moving along. So once she's up and running and I can actually move her around, I will start. I'll schedule a day for my tuning session. I still have to break in the clutch, say 200 miles, but at least. But what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna end up breaking it in on the dyno. I'll just pay the tuner a little bit extra just so he can run that mileage on the dyno. So yeah, more content is coming. I promise you, more content is coming. It's gonna get a lot more consistent. It's gonna get a lot more hectic, is what it's gonna get. But I'm just really I'm struggling with everything, you know. So I'm trying to make everybody happy, which is hard to do sometimes. So with that being said, I am going to leave this here. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everything that everybody has commented and DM'd me wondering what's going on. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I have not forgot about y'all. So yeah, see you in the next one.